nobody does mental like Mr. Crocker does mental.
Very good parents! 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 Very good parents!
But being an absolute nutcase doesn't give you a free pass to be a horrible person, right? Crocker isn't immune to the regularly scheduled karma hammer. Today, we're looking at every single time Mr. Crocker, the fairy-obsessed lunatic, got his justice desserts. Starting with the episode Transparents. It's show and tell day, and Timmy has the bright idea of bringing a dinosaur to the school. I don't know who thought it would be a good idea to do that, and clearly Cosmo and Wanda don't know either.
It was my idea.
No, it was my idea.
Well, it was my idea to take your idea.
Obviously, anyone with two eyes can tell that this isn't something normal, and this ticks off Crocker's fairy radar.
There's only one logical explanation. Very good parents!
Honestly, for as crazy as the guy is, this one actually makes sense. Well, I mean, kind of makes sense. I don't think my mind would immediately default to fairy godparents. A weird lizard, sure, but he's definitely stretching it. Regardless, the croc part is on the case, and he's not taking this one lying down. His first order of business is getting the fairies to school, so he tells Timmy that he wants to have a talk with his parents. That's not gonna fly, and Timmy has Cosmo and Wanda pose as his parents, all according to Crocker's plan.
I wish you guys could pose as my parents.
Meanwhile, for Crocker, this is the moment that he's been waiting for. He's been searching for a proof of fairies for years, and it's made him the butt of many, many jokes, including most of mine.
How many crackpots, Crockers, does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know.
Who cares? Crocker's nuts!
Yeah, I mean, that joke sucked, but Crocker's nuts, so whatever. Anyways, now it's time for him to prepare the fairies, and to do that, he needs to head to his Crocker cave. And by Crocker cave, I mean a phone booth in the janitor's closet. Why the fuck does the janitor's closet have a phone booth? Whatever. In the Crocker cave, he plans to set up elaborate traps all over the school. You'd think his master plan would be something absolutely brilliant, right? No. It's just a parking space with a crudely drawn fairy sign. Yes, this truly will be the evidence that will change the world. The funny thing, it almost works.
Principal, teachers. Ooh, fairies! Park there! Park in the fairy space!
Of course, all of his other plans to catch Timmy's fairies are a similar level of genius. But here's where the universe decides to kick him in the arse. Instead of catching fairies, every single one of his traps catches Principal Waxelplax. She backs her car right into the fairy parking pit, falls through floors, and even gets wrapped up like a mummy by tissues.
But I don't think she's doing it right.
Okay, how the bloody hell was this one even supposed to catch fairies? As punishment, Crocker is put in detention, like all of the other students, for his repeated endangering of her life, and also promising two small boys that they could enslave the earth. God, it feels like any time I stop paying attention to this show for more than 1 minute, something incredibly unbelievable happens. Like that time in Abracatastrophe, where the world almost ended because of a muffin. So it's Timmy's fairyversary, which is apparently a thing, and because he's managed to not blow his secret to the world for a whole year, he gets a magic muffin that can be used to make a wish completely immune from the rules.
Actually, puny Earth boy, it is your special fairyversary muffin.
Whoever eats the muffin gets one rule-free wish.
Now, you'd think Timmy would guard this thing with his life. Nah, the bloody Muppet brings it to the same school with the middle-aged man that defies the laws of physics and biology anytime he thinks about magic.
Math means nothing. A fairy can make 2 + 2 equal fish.
You know, he's right.
Long story short, Crocker finds out about the magical pastry and goes after it.
Aha! Fairy pastry!
Oh no! Crocker's gonna get the muffin first!
He almost gets it too, but Timmy has the bright idea to start a food fight, eventually leading to the muffin landing in the hands of a monkey. Because of course it does. With the power of a rule-free wish, the monkey wishes the world into a jungle, and suddenly Crocker is stuck, teaching the human kids about the new world, guided and ruled by apes.
Founding alpha males sign the Declaration of Independence, forming the United Apes of America.
To be honest, that's a pretty good piece of karma, but oh, does it get better. Crocker still has insane plans of ruling the world, but the newly appointed ape overlords are not happy with this balding bloke talking about overthrowing them.
No! Don't take me! Take the children! They'll last longer!
So, they arrest him. That's right, the man went from getting so close to power to getting carried off to a monkey jail. Brilliant. Timmy manages to fix this broken ape-ruled world, but after things go back to normal, Crocker ends up with the muffin through a completely unusual stroke of luck for him.
Wait, it can't be! A magic muffin! Hooray!
So what does he do with unlimited power? Does he wish for wealth? Fame? A better haircut? No. He captures Wanda and then uses her power to turn the entire bloody world into a dystopian wasteland under his dictatorship. I'd have wished for the perfect toast and the most baller cup of tea man has ever tasted. But maybe that's just me. The man's got the whole planet bowing to him, with statues of himself everywhere. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and with nothing but a magic mirror on his side, Timmy is forced to battle the all-powerful Crocker in a magic fight. In all of his mad rage, Crocker forgot one thing. He didn't just take one of Timmy's fairies, he took a man's wife, and that man is more than happy to fight back.
Oh, poopy.
Crocker gets his ass handed to him on a silver platter by a buffed-up Cosmo. I would love it if that's where the story ends. But unfortunately, the madman manages to capture Cosmo, reuniting him with his wife in the worst possible way. In a desperate attempt to end this all, Timmy reveals his fairies to his mum and dad, doing the one thing that would end Crocker's evil by taking them away for good. Timmy loses his fairies, but in the process leaves Crocker open to yet another well-deserved beating now that he has no powers.
I'll go for his teeth.
And I'll claw out his eyes.
Uh-oh.
And that's the truth.
While Crocker is getting his bones rearranged, Timmy gets the muffin back, at long last, and he uses it to wish back Cosmo and Wanda. With them, he returns the world to normal, removing any trace of Crocker's rule. The teacher himself is left with absolutely nothing. He still has his dreams of ruling the world, but now he's just a crazy guy screaming at his boss in a school hallway. And you know what we do to crazy guys?
For your medicine.
Night-night, crazy guy.
From ruling the world to being chemically restrained in barely a day, now that's what I call a proper downfall. I almost feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's not wrong about the fairies existing, but he just goes about revealing the truth in the most downright despicable ways possible. And I also can't hate how many times he gets put in his place, when some of them are just gut-bustingly funny. Take the time in Pipe Down, where Timmy's fairies aren't even trying to hide this time. The idiots are in plain sight, for Christ's sake. Let's rewind a little bit for context. Timmy has been having a rough day, with everyone constantly yelling at him and being way too loud for his liking. So he wishes for the world to go completely silent, so he can have some peace and quiet. But while the world is shut in a noiseless bubble, a meteor comes hurtling towards the Earth, throwing everything in the shitter. So imagine you were the one running for your life, as a world-ending catastrophe happens around you. Would you stop to listen to the neighborhood psycho? I sure as hell wouldn't, and it looks like no one else did. This one must have killed him, though, because they're right there for everyone else to see. Finally, he can prove he's not crazy and show the world the existence of fairies. But it also looks like today's not the day for Crocker to show the world that he's not crazy. Oh yeah, did I mention that people explode in this world too when they scream too much? Yeah, so being left in his underwear is definitely not helping the I'm not crazy plea that he's trying to do here. I will say it was funny as though. Whoever says Fairly Odd Parents isn't funny can bite my shiny metal. But the stuff that happens to Crocker isn't always funny. Like the time he straight up lost his job because of his spasming. One day, school's almost over, and Crocker has spent his entire day torturing the kids in very specific and humiliating ways. All that's left to do is give them a pop quiz to really round off the misery.
Come on.
Humiliated you all in a specific and unique way. Except you! You have a voice that sounds like a can opener opening cans of cat food!
Man, I'm so glad that pop quizzes aren't a thing in the UK. Timmy has the bright idea of stalling the inevitable by claiming that he's going to pass the test with magic. That's equivalent of pumping concentrated Red Bull straight into the teacher's veins. Instantly, Crocker goes into a full-on crazy fit, shouting about fairies until he falls out of the classroom window.
I'm gonna pass that test like magic!
He's practically rubbing my face in the fact that he has... Very good, very good, very good, very good! Who dug this?
The plan works a little too well, and Crocker falls into a freshly dug well, breaking his failing hand. Yeah, the guy has a dedicated bloody hand for failing his students. The bloke is dedicated, I'll give him that.
Good morning, students. Mr. Crocker broke his failing hand when he fell out of the window and into the new well yesterday, so he won't be in today.
With Crocker out of commission, Principal Waxelpax brings in a substitute teacher named Mrs. Sunshine, who's suspiciously nice and hands out gold stars like they're going out of style. All while Mr. Crocker is still in a damn hole.
What are these? Gigantic heavy Fs? Oh, not in my classroom.
No! I'm still down here!
When it's time for Crocker to return, the students are actually sad. So, Timmy wishes for Mrs. Sunshine to stay permanently. Worst decision ever, mate. The next day, Timmy finds out that Mr. Crocker got demoted to crossing guard duty while his arm is still in a cast.
Mr. Crocker? You're the crossing guard now?
Yes! Since that female ball of sunshine took my job, the school board no longer thinks I can be trusted molding young minds. Ah! You call that elite?
That sounds like the perfect revenge for our buck-toothed protagonist, and life would be perfect. If not for the fact that Mrs. Sunshine was actually an even bigger psycho named Mrs. Doombringer, whose life mission was fooling any child with fairy godparents to wish that she was their permanent teacher. Once she becomes the permanent teacher, she would scan her students for any signs of fairies. And once she's captured the fairy, she pulls off its wings and crown and mounts it in her personal collection.
Good morning, Mrs. Sunshine! Ah! My ears are bleeding!
Yeah, Timmy went from the frying pan and straight into the pit of molten lava. Still, that's just a small price to pay for Crocker to lose his favourite job of tormenting innocent kids for a living. I don't think this is good enough karma for him, though. We can still do better. Let's look at Nega Timmy, where, surprise, surprise, Timmy's having another one of those days where his parents are being insufferable twats. After they ignore him, as is normal in the Turner household, Timmy wishes to do the exact opposite of whatever they say.
I wish to do the exact opposite of what my parents say.
Naturally, that leads to Timmy becoming a supervillain named Nega Timmy, after his dad sends him off and tells him to be good. Yep, that makes total sense, and is only natural, of course.
No.
Just be good.
For some reason, being good also removed all of the dirt and stink on him from playing around in the mud. I guess being clean is evil? Nega Timmy bursts into class, villain style, and Crocker thinks this is the start of an evil eye staring competition and goes on about how only one of them can have the evil look.
I don't like that evil look in your eye. That's the evil look in my eye. And only one of us can have it. Who's it gonna be?
Nega Timmy doesn't give two shits about Crocker's ramblings and just throws him straight out of the classroom into the mud outside. Damn, if I had a penny for every time Crocker was tossed out of a classroom window, I'd be rich, because this guy gets tossed about more than a basketball. Though Crocker, in a brief moment of common sense, decides that he's not being paid enough for this and changes career on the spot.
I thought you only had one tooth. Apparently it's him. This can only be the work of... very bad parents! Oh well, time to seek a new career.
What's his brilliant new profession, you ask? Door-to-door ham salesman. And the idiot decides that the best place to go for his sale is the house of the person that made him change careers. Naturally, Nega Timmy sends him flying yet again, this time into a thorned bush.
Good evening, sir. I'm Denzel Crocker of the Door-to-Door Ham Company of Canton, Ohio. Oh well, time for me to pursue a career as a tour guide.
You know, for someone that's getting repeatedly tossed around like a rag doll, Crocker is surprisingly chill in this episode. He decides to become a tour guide. I mean, what are the odds that he will run into Nega Timmy yet again? Well, turns out the odds are pretty bloody high because Nega Timmy's evil plans involve shooting a satellite that crashes into Mount Dimsdale, causing a volcanic eruption that sends lava straight towards the dam. And who's the poor soul giving tours at that same dam?
Welcome to the Dimsdale Dam. Built in 1948, it is impervious to any natural disaster, except for a huge lava flow. But what are the odds of that?
Yeah, of course. The flood sweeps Crocker into a makeup factory where he gets absolutely drenched in cosmetics. He stumbles out looking alive and fantastic. Well, I mean, as fantastic as a middle-aged man with a hunchback can possibly look.
Ha! I'm alive! And I look fit!
I don't know what's more impressive, Crocker getting 3 jobs in one day, or somehow getting properly smacked in all of them by the same kid. And of course, this can't be a karma moment if Crocker ends the episode looking happy. So his terrible luck strikes yet again. Cosmo accidentally fires off a laser from Timmy's machine, burning Crocker harder than when my dad tries to cook an oven pizza.
Stop mocking me!
You should put some makeup on that.
It's a surprise that he's still alive at this point, but for all of the times that Crocker's gotten what he deserved, nothing quite compares to the time he actually got everything he's ever wanted, and it makes the karma hit that much harder. It's a half day at school, and Timmy wishes for a half-day transformation station that lets him merge with different objects. Crocker, the f***ing creep, takes the opportunity of Timmy being gone to sneak into his room and find the fairies. While snooping around with cheese in hand, he runs into the machine with cheese in his hand.
This must be Turner's fairy-keeping device-like chamber! I've got you now, fairies! Pooh! No fairies! Double poo! I lost my...
And then he gets knocked out of the room by Timmy's home security rhino. He lands in an alleyway where he discovers his cheese powers while trying to scare away some mice.
Triple poo! An angry talking rhino! Hey, have you seen my cheese? That horn of protection cuts deep! Ah! Mice! Shoo! Get away!
He goes back to his Crocker cave, an actual cave this time, and flips a coin to decide whether he will use his powers for good or for evil. Obviously, he chooses evil. I don't even think it matters how the coin toss was going to go. And decides to use his powers to capture his fairies. His plan works out surprisingly well. And not only does he capture Cosmo, Wanda and Poof, but he also traps Timmy while spilling out horrible cheese puns.
Gin?
That's me, Turner! And I'm here to finally capture your fairies!
Ha! With a dorky cheese hat?
That and my cheesecloth butterfly net.
With Timmy's fairies captured, Crocker is finally free to get everything off of his wish list. His first wish is for better hair, and his second wish is to win the love of his high school crush. It's a pretty short list, but I respect it.
Now, what's next on my wish list? Number 2, win the love of my high school crush. I wish I was in a limo at Mary Lou Bixby's house.
He heads over to her house with nice hair, a jacket, and a diamond, ready to win her heart. And it bloody works. This is the moment that Crocker's been waiting for his entire miserable life. The girl who rejected him and who ruined his confidence, who broke his heart, finally accepts him. Only for him to immediately turn her down so he can crush out his third wish of breaking her heart.
Go out with me?
Yes, yes, I will.
Well, forget it! You're ugly and creepy and stop calling me! Number 3, crush Mary Lou's heart with the exact words she used to crush mine at the sock hop. Yes!
That's just plain pathetic. And then he gets the fairies stolen from him immediately. He had everything he wanted right in front of him, and he got closer to a loving relationship than I ever have. Oh. And then he threw it all away like an idiot. And how do things go after he's finished with his petty list? Timmy restores everything to normal. Crocker wakes up in his room thinking it was all a cheesy dream. He opens his door, ready to start making that dream come true, only to find Hank the Rhino waiting to dish out the horn of protection.
All been a cheesy dream, but now to get up and make my dream come true! Except for the part where Turner defeats me.
The horn of protection never sleeps!
Talking Rhino!
He should have just taken the bus. This is easily the worst karma Crocker has ever gotten. Sure, physical pain is fun and funny to watch, but watching him on the verge of achieving his dreams, only to lose it all literally immediately because of his greed and pettiness, hit hard. And to be honest, I kind of love it. And that's what makes watching Crocker so satisfying. The man's technically right about everything, but he's such a nutter that he deserves every bit of karma coming his way. Watching the middle-aged man get his ass handed to him is so satisfying. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch some more cartoons, because what else would give me purpose in life? Cheerio!